Okay, now for foundation is the Pure Liquid Veil 4-in-1 Spray Foundation. So shake it really well, and first I apply a light coat on my face, and then I'm going to go in and spray it onto my brush and then buff it out in circular motions. Now I'm going to go in with this IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Corrector. It just says use your ring finger. I find that this is a really good color corrector. This is the color Riche. It was the only color I found, but I'm starting to think that this is for darker skin tones because it's really like rich and orange and like tan-ish. But I find that this really does, when applied under concealer, really does help brighten my eye. The point of these under eye correctors are you're supposed to use them under your concealer. I'm just tapping a little under my eye, but you can see like it's very orange and discolored. When you take an orange or red or a peach colored under eye corrector, it's really good if you have super dark circles because it doesn't show through your concealer. Your concealer will cover it, but it just really helps brighten your eyes even more. Just like that, a half moon shape under your eyes, and then on top of that, go in with your concealer. I'm going to use my new Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. This is in the shade Light. And this says, first it says warm a tiny amount with fingers, tap onto skin, and blend using your favorite IT Cosmetics brush. So first I'm going to apply a little of this onto my ring finger and tap it everywhere that I want the coverage. And I usually like to take this in an under eye upside down triangle shape just to get more full coverage and really just to help brighten my under eye area and cancel out any dark circles. And it also just highlights your face and brings light to that area. And I just like this look personally, but you can just tap this under your eye like that if that's the only place you want, but I don't like to take any chances. So bring it into your eye and out, and then around your nose. I always have redness under my nose, and you know, usually you're like picking at your face, and usually the nose area is one of the first places for your foundation to go away throughout the day and just eat away. Oil gets there, so it's always good to apply some concealer around your nose just for a little extra coverage. And then I always like to apply it on my forehead and chin and the bridge of my nose just to balance out all that's under my eye. Since it is so heavy, it will just help balance it out and look better. And I'll usually bring it all the way back to my hairline. I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend this out because I just find that it leaves the perfect amount, blends it out more naturally, and picks up any excess product that I don't need. But I love this concealer. I love, love, love it. I'm so glad I finally got it because I've been hearing about this concealer and just good reviews about it. So I wanted to try it out. And it's very creamy. I find that it is very good at getting rid of dark circles. So another product I am very excited to try is this Pure Cameo Contour double-ended contour foundation stick. I got the shade medium just because the light seemed really light. So let me show you what we got here. One end you have your highlight shade, which I'll apply it for you and show, and then the other end you have your contour stick. So let's see how creamy. I have not tried this yet. First I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand, and it seems like it's super soft and blendable. I like that this highlight shade doesn't have any shimmer, which is really good, especially if you have oily or texturized skin, acne prone skin, because shimmer highlights can really magnify any texture that you have on your skin, which is not good for some of you. So I'm just going to apply this in a C, like a C shape right there on the bridge of my nose. I guess places where I applied that concealer, same thing over here. So I'm just going to apply this, of course, under the highlight and the hollows of my cheekbones, like that, and then up by my forehead. So this is very warm. If you have, if you are more cool toned, you will not want this. You will want the light shade because this is super warm. Okay, so these are all the places that I like to contour. Under my lip, just to enhance my lip a little. The bridge of my nose, just to help it not look so fat. And along my jawline, and of course under my cheekbones and the hollow of my cheekbones, and on the temples of my forehead. So I'm going to use the same foundation brush to blend it out, just because it is quicker, and then I like to go in, once everything's blended out, I like to go in with my complexion sponge, and that just helps pick up any excess and helps it look a little more natural, but it just takes too long if I try to do this for all of it, so that's why I like to use a brush and just buff it out, and then I'll go in with this, just to pick up any excess and just to give it a more airbrush natural finish. And also first I'm going to blend out all the dark contour parts, and then lastly blend the highlight shades into that. So just a quick review on this contour stick. I am super impressed with this and I really like it. It is very creamy and it blends out beautifully. It blends out very easily and just leaves a nice sheer wash of color, not muddy at all. It doesn't feel cakey. I think I might like this even more than my Bobbi Brown foundation stick, which is my #1 favorite contour stick that I like to use when I contour, but this is even lighter, obviously because the Bobbi Brown foundation stick is a foundation stick, so it just has more full coverage, which I thought I liked that, but I like this even more because it's just even more sheer and it blends out so beautifully. I really like the color and it just leaves like the perfect wash of color once you blend it out. It blends out so nicely. Goodness, I really like it, and I love that there's no shimmer in the highlight side of it. So you will probably see me using more of this in more videos to come. I'm very impressed. I definitely recommend this, but of course I need to try it a couple more times before I really recommend it to y'all. Okay, now I'm going to set everything. I always like setting all my cream products before I go in with powder. It will just help my foundation to last longer, and it helps prevent it from caking away more quickly throughout the day, and it just helps all my powder products glide on more smoothly and not look streaky or cakey. So first I like to go in with my Kogan Dough translucent finishing powder, and I like to press this in to my whole face, and this is just super moisturizing. So I'm just using this huge brush. This is by Sephora, their Pro All Over Powder number 61, just to press it into my skin. This way it won't move my foundation. It's just really good to press it, and it will just really help set my foundation and not move it, especially the contour that I just did. So I'm going to switch things up and move on to eyes just before I go in with my bronzer and my blush, just so I can let my face makeup set. I'm going to fill in my brows real quick. I'm just going to fast forward this. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. This is my favorite tool for filling in brows. Alright, hello everyone. I zoomed in so that you can see my eyes very well, because now I'm moving on to eyes before I go on to my bronzer and lips. So first I'm priming my eyes, of course. I'm using this NARS primer. I find that this is really good for controlling oil on my eyelids, because my lids are very oily. The Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base by NARS. And then I also got a napkin to shield my face so that when I apply eyeshadow, you know, sometimes when you apply it, there can be fallout that falls onto your face and ruin. So I don't want to ruin my foundation that I just did. So I decided to grab a napkin rather than toilet paper, just to be a little more fancy for y'all today. And then today I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Bar, one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and I thought that these colors will be beautiful for fall. First I'm going to start with Salted Caramel. I'm just going to blend this into my crease, going backwards and forwards, and then first I go backwards and forwards like windshield wiper motions, And then I like to go in tiny circular and outward circular motions, and that just really helps blur the line so that you don't see a harsh line, and it just helps it look more blended and a little more better. This smells like chocolate, by the way, if you didn't know that. So I'm going in circular and backward circular motions. And then I also wrap it around my eye, like so. Just wrap it around your eye in a C shape. And then whatever's left, I just like to apply under my eye just to really smoke it out under the eye and give a more messy, undone feel to it. So I'm blending this upward, just really getting this into my crease and then above, just for a more smoke show look. Now I'm going to be taking this very dense dome-shaped brush. This is Sephora number 16 Pro Domed Crease. I want it very dense, very compact, and I'm going to be taking the edge of this. This is Duo Eyelash Adhesive, just I really like the end of that, and it's just gonna help me really get a good sharp line for what I'm about to apply next, because I didn't want this next part so messy and undone. I'm gonna blend it out, but just to apply it, I wanna get it on pretty precisely. You can use tape, you can use a credit card, you can use whatever end you want if you are interested in recreating this. I'm going to take the color Semi-Sweet, tap off the excess, just that will help prevent any more fallout falling onto your face. And then I'm going to take this, line it up. I guess I follow the line of my lower lash line, so I put it at the end of where my lower lashes end, and that, like that, if that makes sense. And then first I'm going to just press this like that. Here, let me zoom in even more. There we go. Y'all can see every little imperfection on me, so feel free to judge all you want. Okay, so if you can see this better, I'm just first pressing it on like that. And then I'm gonna take it up. I'm still pressing, I'm just dotting it on before I start blending out. I'm bringing it up into the crease, and that creates kind of a horizontal V shape. And then I'm just now going in circular motions and upward circular motions, just to start blurring that out and blending it out. And then I'm removing this because I don't want that line too intense. But now I'm buffing this into my crease. So I'm buffing it in circular motions, circular motions, and I'm bringing it all the way into the inner part of my eye like this. That way, this is just gonna blend it out more and just help it look a little more messy and not as defined and perfect as if I just kept it on the outer part of my eye. And so it also creates a halo around your eye, because I'm leaving my eyelid blank, of course, for that cherry cordial pop of color. But so I'm just, again, I'm going back to the starting point and blending it upwards and then into the inner part of my eye. And then I go back over that, just constantly doing circular and backward circular motions and like a windshield wiper sweep. And I'm gonna take that original blending brush just to help soften that a little more. And it's just, and I'm going in circular and backward circular motions, blending it up. So I'm gonna go in again with that salted caramel color and just blend this into the crease, blend it in and out. This will just kind of help diffuse that color a little more and just help it look a little more smoky. So I'm blending this all the way up to my brow bone. I have larger eyes, so if you have smaller eyes, you know, you can be careful with bringing color up there, but if you're not afraid, then blend away, because it will just help it look more smoky. And just the more you blend, the more the colors will all fade into each other, and it will just look more beautiful and more smoky, having them all fade into each other. Okay, so now I'm going to take this brush by MAC, the 239, and I'm going to dip it into that cherry cordial color and apply this onto my lid. in between all that brown. And then take that same blending brush that you've used throughout and just go over everything just to make sure everything blends in. If you wanted to add some shimmer onto your eyelid, I think the Black Forest Truffle would be really pretty. You know what? Why not apply a little of that? I'm just gonna run it in my hands like that and press it onto my eyelid, just on top of that, just onto the center of my lid. Like so. And I'm just pressing, and I usually like using my fingers when I apply pigments because it just helps, the warmth of my fingers just helps pick up the pigments better than a brush could ever do. Now I'm going to apply a little eyeliner. I'm going to use my favorite MAC Liquid Last liner and do just a little wing. Okay, I already applied false lashes off camera just because they take so long. Figured you wouldn't want to see that. I applied the Ardell Demi Wispies. They are my favorite false lashes. So now I'm going to finish up my eye. I'm just going to apply a little brown eyeliner to the bottom of my eye, smudge it out with a smudge brush. I'm going to use this one by Sigma, the E20 smudge brush. And then I'm going to apply mascara. Okay, eyes are done. Now I'm going to finish my face. I need to apply some bronzer and some blush. And as you can see, after applying my eyeshadow and my eyes, I don't think that my face got too oily, but you know, you can always go back in with your powder brush and just touch up those oily areas if you feel like you got oily. So I'm going to go in with this is new for me, Mattifying Powder Bronzer in the color Sunswept by Jouer. I was curious to try this, especially since it's mattifying, so I've tried this a couple times and I find there's no shimmer in this, so it's great at controlling oil. It doesn't enhance your oily features or large pores. It doesn't enhance any texture. I'm going to use this Tarte double-ended brush to contour a little and just to really define my cheekbones. So using this side, I'm going to start at the top of my ear and then just sweep this under my cheekbones, the hollows of my cheekbones. Just about mid-cheek. You don't want to bring it too far to your lip. That will just define you a little too much. And then I like to buff it upwards in circular motions, upwards and outwards, going along the hairline and then onto my temple. Just mainly staying along the hairline. And then I'm going to apply a little blush. I'm going to use the color Flower Child by Becca. This is one of my favorite blushes. And I'm using this MAC 135 brush. It's my favorite bronzer and blush brush. And I'm just gently applying it on top of that bronzer, just to the higher parts of my cheek. And usually I bring a little down onto the apples of my cheeks. But just very lightly, I'm lightly sweeping this onto my cheeks in circular motions and then bringing it upwards. Okay, next I'm going to set my face. I love the Urban Decay All Nighter makeup setting spray, but I found that there is one that is oil controlling, so figured I should get that because it just helps control oil even more. So I'm just going to spray my face and set on my makeup. And then usually on top of a setting spray, I like to spray my homemade spray. I mean, it's not homemade, I just put it together. It's tea tree oil in a blue glass jar. I got this at Whole Foods. And then the tea tree oil I use is just the 365 Everyday 100% tea tree oil. And so you fill this up with water and then apply about 5 to 8 drops of tea tree oil. And I find that tea tree oil really helps absorb any excess oil. You don't want the tea tree oil to be too strong because it just can be too much and it can break you out if it's too strong. So maybe you only need about 2 to 5 drops. It just depends on your skin type, but tea tree oil can really help control oil. So I like to spray that on once my makeup's done. And then I like to go in with my powder puff, and that just helps absorb any excess powder and just helps leave a more airbrush finish. Okay, now for lips, I'm going to use, this is also new, this is by Loreal, the color Raisin 892. And I even got the color Spice 860. I might apply the spice on top. I just think that's so pretty. And I think these colors are perfect for fall. Okay, let me show you the color. So there's Spice and there's Raisin. I think I'm going to actually apply Spice because that's more the color that I'm going for. And I usually just blend it out with my finger. I really need to get a lip brush, but the warmth from my finger just really helps distribute the color so that it's not too harsh. Alright everyone, this completes my fall makeup tutorial look using all new products that I got from Ulta that you will see in my Ulta haul. Be sure to check out my Ulta haul video if you want to. The link will be below in the description bar below my video. You can see there's a little arrow that you can press and it will pull down more information where I list all the makeup that I used in this makeup tutorial. I link it if you decide you want to buy it. I link it for you so it can take you directly to the website. And I appreciate you guys watching this video and checking out my latest video. It means a lot to me that you guys checked it out. So I hope that you guys have a great day, and please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would mean a lot to me. Bye!